Welcome back, students. Today we are going to see a new chapter, rectification of errors. So we all know to err is human, to forgive is divine. Errors are inevitable, you can't avoid. So what is an error? What is the meaning of the word error? Error means a mistake which is done unintentionally, without knowing. So we all tend to make a lot of mistakes, right? So error is something which is being done unintentionally. It is a mistake which is done unintentionally. What is fraud? Again, fraud is a kind of mistake which is done intentionally or willfully done in order to cheat others. You call it as fraud. In accounting, both errors and frauds do occur. So now let us move on to this rectification of errors. So errors must be spotted and it has to be rectified. Only then we get a true and fair view of accounts. So now let us first classify the different categories of errors. What are those classifications? So you have errors of omission. So when certain transactions are being left out, can either be recorded partially or completely omitted. You have partial omission and complete omission. Partial omission means part of the transaction, say for example, you have recorded the journal entry and it has to be posted into the ledger. A part of the journal entry, we all know every transaction has two accounts being involved there. Right? Say for example, goods purchased from Ram on credit. So what is going to be the entry? Purchase account debtor to Ram account. Now, you have recorded this correctly in purchase account. In purchase account, how will you write? So you will be writing to Ram. In Ram's account, how will you write? You will write by purchase. In case if you have left out part of the transaction to be recorded in your purchase account. So you didn't mention that in your purchase account. You have left out. But you have recorded that in Ram's account. In Ram's account, you have recorded. Whereas in purchase account, you didn't mention about Ram. So this is a partial omission. Complete omission means the transaction is totally left out. It is not recorded. It has been omitted completely. Call that as complete omission. The next type is errors of commission. So you may post it to a wrong account. Instead of debiting, you would have credited. Instead of debiting, you would have credited. Or you may post a wrong amount. Instead of 589, you would have wrongly entered as 895. Or posting to the wrong side. Instead of debiting, you would have credited, or instead of crediting, you would have debited. So these are errors of commission. The third category is errors of principle. So when we make mistake in the application of fundamental accounting principles, say for example, when you record purchase of an asset in purchase daybook. In purchase daybook, we are supposed to record only credit purchases of goods and not assets. In case if we wrongly record the purchase of an asset in purchase daybook, it is an error of principle. We have made a mistake in the application of the fundamental accounting principle. Such an error is called as an error of principle. Then compensating errors. Errors that neutralize each other. Say for example, you have a shortage of 10,000 on the debit side. And similarly, on the credit side also, you have a shortage of 10,000. Now, even though our trial balance gets tallied, you have an error. It is not error free. You have a shortage of 10,000 on the debit. Similarly, you have a shortage on the credit side as well. Both are neutralizing. They are compensating one another. The trial balance will get tallied. It will be equal. We may think that when the trial balance gets tallied, we think it is error free. Definitely it is not error free. You have these compensating errors which neutralize both the sides. Errors may not be disclosed in the trial balance. Example for that, purchase book and sales book overcast by ₹1,000 each. So there is an overcasting done in the purchase book. What is overcast? When the amount is more than the actual, you call it as overcasting. If the amount is less than the actual, it is undercasting. Now, when you have ₹1,000 more on the debit side as well as on the credit side, it will not affect the trial balance. It is an error actually, but we may not know that it is an error. Both purchase book as well as sales book, when they are overcast by 1,000, there is an increase on both the sides to the extent of ₹1,000 each. It does not affect the trial balance. Trial balance will definitely get tallied. We may assume that it is error free, but actually it is a compensating error. This error is neutralizing. So overcast of purchase book neutralizes the overcast of sales book because they neutralize each other to the extent of ₹1,000 each on both the sides. These type of errors are called as compensating errors. Errors that neutralize each other are called as compensating errors. Then errors may occur at different stages of accounting. It may be at the stage of journalizing, at the stage of posting the entries into the ledger, or at the stage of balancing, or at the stage of preparing the trial balance. So at the stage of journalizing, you may have error of omission. As we discussed earlier, maybe a partial omission or you may have a partial omission or a complete omission. This partial omission will happen only after the journalizing stage, because when you are posting those entries into the ledger only, you will come across this partial omission, whereas complete omission can happen at the time of making the entries in the journal. When the transactions are recorded in the journal at the time of journalizing, this complete omission may happen. A mistake, you would have left one transaction to be recorded into the books of accounts. Then error of commission. While recording the journal entries, you would have recorded with the wrong amount. That is possible, right? Then error of principal. So when you write the entry, you may tend to make mistake in the application of the fundamental accounting principles. That is possible at the stage of journalizing. And at the stage of posting, again, you have both partial omission as well as complete omission. Complete omission, the stage of journal entries, you didn't even record the transaction into the journal. It is left out completely. Partial omission, you would have recorded that transaction in the journal, but while posting that into the ledger, you would have done partially. One part of the account may be recorded correctly, the other part may be left out. This partial omission is possible at the stage of posting into the ledger. Then as I told you, posting to wrong account. Instead of one person's account, Anil, you would have posted into Sunil's account. Posting to wrong account. Then posting of wrong amount. Instead of 589, 985. Then posting to the wrong side. Instead of debit, you would have posted to the credit side. The next stage is the stage of balancing. Stage of what is balancing? You will total both sides and bring down the balance, right? You call that as balancing. After posting all the entries into the ledger, the next stage will be the stage of balancing. So here you have wrong totaling of accounts. While totaling, you may make mistakes. And at the stage of preparing trial balance, you will have all these errors of omission will be there, errors of commission will be there. So able to understand? Let us now recall these concepts again. So error is a mistake which is done unintentionally. You can classify the errors into errors of omission, errors of commission, errors of principal and compensating errors. Under errors of omission, you have partial omission and complete omission. Under partial omission, part of the entry will be recorded and the remaining will be left out. Under complete omission, the entire transaction may be left out at the stage of recording the journal. Then errors of commission, posting to wrong account or posting wrong amount or posting to wrong side. Errors of principle, making mistake in the application of the fundamental accounting principles. Then compensating errors are those which neutralize each other. So these are the 4 types of errors classification. And then errors at different stages of accounting we have discussed. At the stage of journalizing, you may have errors of complete omission, errors of commission, error of principal. At the stage of posting, you may have errors of omission, both partial as well as complete omission. Then errors of commission, posting to wrong account, posting of wrong amount or posting to the wrong side. Then at the stage of balancing, you have the totaling of accounts. And at the stage of preparing the trial balance, you have the errors of omission and errors of commission. Now, we shall look into the errors disclosed by trial balance and errors which are not disclosed by the trial balance. So, what are errors disclosed by the trial balance? So, certain errors may affect the agreement of trial balance, which means when we prepare a trial balance, the debit side and the credit side will not be the same. Trial balance will not tally. So the trial balance will not tally. You have errors of partial omission and errors of commission which affect the agreement of trial balance. Say for example, entered in the journal but posted to one account and omitted to be posted to the other. So you would have recorded a transaction in the journal. The next step is from the journal you have to post it to ledger. As I gave you an example, credit purchases from Ram. Okay, purchased goods from Ram on credit. So what is the entry for it? Purchase account debtor to Ram account. Now you have recorded properly in Ram's account, but you omitted that to be posted in purchase account. So it has been done partially. Able to understand? So entered in the journal but posted to one account and omitted to be posted to the other. The next one, posting an amount to the wrong side of the ledger account. So instead of debit, you would have posted on the credit side. Then posting twice in the ledger account. So the amount will be entered twice. Then overcasting or undercasting in a subsidiary book. So purchase day book or sales day book, you may either have an overcasting or undercasting. Overcasting is more than the actual amount, undercasting is less than the actual amount. Then posting a wrong amount to the correct side of an account. Amount is wrong, but you have recorded that on the correct side of the account. Debit means debit, credit means credit. You would have recorded that in the proper side, but the amount may be wrong. Then posting a wrong amount to the wrong side of an account. Amount is also wrong, side is also wrong. Then errors arising in carrying forward the page total from one page to the next page of an account or subsidiary book. So you will be carrying forward that page total. From this page to the next page you will carry forward. So at the last, if your page total is 1230, if you write 1203, that's the difference in the amount. So errors arising in carrying forward the page total from one page to the next page of an account. Then errors arising in the balancing of an account. So while totaling the account, when you balance a ledger, so when you make mistake while totaling, you may have such type of errors. Errors arising in balancing of an account. Then omission to post an entry from a subsidiary book. So these are some of the errors which are disclosed by the trial balance. So how it is disclosed? When we prepare a trial balance, the trial balance may not get tallied. So there will be difference on the debit side and the credit side. The total of debit and the credit may vary, may not be the same. So these are the errors which are disclosed by the trial balance. So as a temporary solution, what we may do, you would have come across this word suspense account, right? So as a temporary solution, if the trial balance does not get tallied, whichever side you have a shortage, you put the difference of amount on that side and make both sides equal. So you will be writing suspense account and you will be writing that difference amount there, and as a temporary solution we get the trial balance tallied using suspense account. But you can't keep it throughout, right? So you need to locate the error, where you went wrong. You have to find it out, right? So you have to scrutinize your trial balance again, and you have to see whether you have made any double entry. So you have to recheck the totals again. See whether you have posted it on the correct side. Debit items, if it is being posted on the credit side or vice versa, you have to check all these things, right? If you are unable to find spot the error through your trial balance, you have to scrutinize your ledger, and then you have to see your journal, and then your source documents, your vouchers, your invoice, right? You have to scrutinize all those things if you are unable to spot the error. After spotting the error, you have to rectify that error. So I've already transferred the difference amount to suspense. Only after passing a rectification entry to that extent, you can correct your books of accounts. So you have to rectify the errors. Rectification is very, very important. Not just spotting the errors alone will help. That suspense account is just a temporary solution. It is not a permanent one. As a temporary solution only, we are using suspense account. After locating those errors, we have to pass a rectification entry to that, and then once a rectification entry is being posted, suspense account gets automatically closed. Now, the next one, errors are not disclosed by trial balance. So, certain errors will not affect the agreement of trial balance. Say for example, compensating errors, they neutralize each other. As I told you, trial balance will get tallied. We may think that when the trial balance gets tallied, it is error free. But you have errors like compensating errors which neutralize each other. So these errors will not disclose. So certain errors will not affect the agreement of trial balance. Though such errors occur in the books of accounts, the total of debit and credit balance will be the same. The trial balance will tally. Errors of complete omission. The entire transaction is left out. So in such a case, it will not affect the trial balance. Only if in case of partial omission, it will affect, because you would have entered on one side and left out the other account. So that becomes a problem and it is disclosed in the trial balance. Now in case of complete omission, the entire transaction is left out. So this may not affect the trial balance. This will not affect the trial balance. So errors of complete omission, error of principal, compensating errors, wrong entry in the subsidiary books are not disclosed by the trial balance. See, treating revenue expenditure as capital expenditure, it is an error of principle. So it is a mistake in the application of the fundamental accounting principle. So this may not affect the agreement of trial balance. Omitting a transaction completely, complete omission. Then entering a transaction in a wrong subsidiary book. So entering a transaction twice in a subsidiary book or journal, that will not affect, because you are recording twice in the subsidiary book or twice in the journal. It will be recorded twice. Right? When you record a journal twice, it will be posted twice. Debit and the credit will automatically tally. There is no problem. Right? So errors of principal, errors of complete omission, compensating error and wrong entries of subsidiary books or journal are not disclosed by the trial balance. Able to understand, children?